Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Buckeye Politics. It's me, your favorite Ohioan. So today we're going to be looking at all the states that may or may not outlaw abortion, how it's going to affect every state individually. This is a pretty epic map by the Washington Post. The Washington Post is very cringe, not a big fan of them, but they do have this pretty epic map that lays it out very clearly. So as you can see here, the states in red have a trigger ban that is to take effect within a month. All the states in red, obviously, as it says, have a trigger ban take effect within the month. So a trigger ban is a bill passed by the state legislature that would basically say if Roe v. Wade were to be overturned, abortion would become illegal. Within some have it immediately, like Louisiana, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and South Dakota. And as a matter of fact, those following states, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and South Dakota, have all already outlawed abortion. It is now illegal to receive an abortion in Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and South Dakota, which is great news. That's awesome that they did that so quickly. The rest of the states in red have a thing called within 30 days. Mississippi should take an effect within days. Yeah, most of it have it within a couple days. Idaho, Texas, Tennessee, and a couple other states have a ban that will be within 30 days. So 30 days from now, Idaho, Texas, Tennessee, and a couple other states abortion will be banned in. So really, all these states in red within a month, abortion should be illegal in, and in some of them it already is. The states in orange that say likely to ban all have different situations. Like my home state of Ohio here. Ohio originally had a trigger ban like the states in red, but unfortunately the Ohio Supreme Court knocked that down and said it was unconstitutional because it violated Roe v. Wade. Well, now that Roe v. Wade is gone, there is no reason that bill can't pass. So within an hour after Roe v. Wade was struck down, Dave Yost, the Ohio Attorney General, and the Ohio State Legislature, they basically submitted a thing to the court saying we'd like to make Roe v. Wade, we would like to outlaw abortion. So Ohio, abortion should be legal in the coming days or so. Indiana does not have any trigger laws, but the Republican governor and Republican state legislature have all said that they plan on passing abortion law. So Indiana does not have a law as of now. I'd say within a few weeks, abortion should also be illegal in the state of Indiana. West Virginia has a pre-Roe ban that abortion was illegal in West Virginia before Roe v. Wade even was a thing. Obviously, it was legal after Roe v. Wade, but the state legislature and the governor plan on outlawing it. So West Virginia, just like I said, they have a pre-Roe abortion ban that could be brought back, but it just hasn't yet because it's so recent. But West Virginia will also probably outlaw abortion. The state of Iowa has a 6-week ban from 2018 that was ruled unconstitutional, same as Ohio's, because Roe v. Wade was still in place. So now that Roe v. Wade is gone, that same bill will likely be brought back, and since Iowa has a Republican governor and a Republican-controlled state legislature, I'd say abortion will be illegal in Iowa pretty soon as well. State of South Carolina has a 6-week ban, same as Iowa and Ohio. That is, so abortion would not be completely illegal in South Carolina based on this ban, but it would be within 6 weeks, which is basically illegal because I think most people don't even know they're pregnant until around week 8 or 10 or so. So 6 weeks is very early, and so more likely than not, abortion will be banned in South Carolina. Georgia also has a 6-week ban, same as Ohio, South Carolina, and Iowa, but it's still pending in the courts. So if it gets through the courts, then abortion would be illegal in Georgia, same as all these red states here. But it's still in limbo. Alabama has a full abortion ban from 2019 that is likely to be enforced, as well as a pre-Roe ban. So they do not have a trigger ban in Alabama, but it's basically going to be banned afterwards. So Alabama, abortion will be illegal in Alabama, it's just not through a trigger ban. So all the states in red and orange, abortion will be illegal in within the month. This brings us to the states in white, which we'll start with the state of Arizona. So Arizona has a pre-Roe abortion ban that is probably not going to be enforced. Republican Governor Doug Ducey is kind of a rhino. He's a very moderate Republican, but he has said that he will pass a 15-week ban, and I think it already passed this year. So abortion in Arizona will still be legal, just not after 15 weeks, which is honestly pretty... it should be completely illegal, but 15 weeks is, I guess, decent for a more moderate state like Arizona. I mean, Arizona's still a conservative state, but, a 15-week abortion ban isn't the worst thing in the world. It should be a complete ban, but until then, abortion will be in Arizona, illegal in Arizona until after week 15. The state of Montana has protections in the state against the Constitution. So Montana has in the state constitution has protected abortion. but the Republican governor and Republican-controlled state legislature are both pretty pro-life, and they are probably going to choose an abortion ban. So Montana will probably also eventually have abortion outlawed in it, same as all these red and orange states. It's just there's nothing in the Constitution as of yet that would hinder abortion as of yet. That said, the Republican governor and Republican state legislature will more likely than not pass something to do that eventually. The state of Nebraska has a Republican governor who wants to ban abortion, but they had a recent vote that to create a trigger ban, same as all these states, but it actually failed in the state legislature because Nebraska, the Republican Party has a very slim majority in Nebraska. There's a lot of independents and a lot of moderate like Democrats in there. And the Nebraska state legislature is cursed. It's very weird. There's a lot of independents who vote Democrat, and so it's kind of weird. But so the Nebraska governor did want to outlaw abortion in Nebraska, but the state legislature narrowly voted to veto that. So there is no law in Nebraska that outlaws abortion as of now. But I would say that it should change because the Nevada governor wants to pass that, and the Republicans do still have control of the Nebraska state legislature, I do believe, and so it should be go into effect. There's might be some iffy stuff going on there. The state of Kansas is actually going to be holding a statewide referendum in August on a constitutional amendment that would eliminate abortion proceedings. So Kansas is actually going to have a vote on it, which is very interesting to watch. Kansas is going to have an election on August 2nd of this year to whether or not to outlaw abortion. And that's going to be the big test to see whether or not abortion is going to play a huge part in the midterms. Because Kansas, it's a conservative state, but it's relatively, if it's not super conservative, there is a relatively large liberal population and moderate population near Kansas City and Topeka near the Missouri border. But Kansas voted for Trump by 14 percentage points. However, it took a big shift to the left, considering it voted for Trump by more than 20 back in 2016. So this election in Kansas will be interesting to watch. To see just how close it is, and to see if abortion will have a big effect on the midterms. So yeah, really, Kansas. If it on August 2nd, I do believe abortion will be outlawed based on that referendum because Kansas is a pretty conservative state, and I think it's going to energize Republicans. And so I think abortion will become illegal in Kansas. It just won't be until August 2nd when they're having a referendum. The state of Wisconsin has a pre-row abortion ban, so that would outlaw abortion, but the Democratic governor and Democratic attorney general both said that they will not enforce it. So Wisconsin technically has a law that would outlaw abortion, but the Democratic governor, Tony Evers, and Democratic attorney general have both said that they're not going to enforce it, which means abortion will remain legal in Wisconsin technically. It's kind of weirdly in limbo. But that said, Planned Parenthood is actually pulled out of Wisconsin because they expected them to enforce it. So I'd say that although abortion will remain legal in Wisconsin, it's probably going to be very difficult to access because all the big abortion providers have moved out of Wisconsin in anticipation of Roe v. Wade happening, and because they do have a pre-Roe abortion ban. And in this November, in the gubernatorial election, Rebecca Kleefisch, who is a Republican candidate for governor of Wisconsin, and who more likely than not, in my opinion, is going to be the nominee and then go on to beat Tony Evers, she has said that she will outlaw abortion. So if Rebecca Kleefisch wins in this November, I'd say abortion will be illegal in Wisconsin because the state legislature is in support of it, and it's technically already illegal. They're just not enforcing it. The state of Michigan used to be a trigger state. It used to be a state that if abortion was overturned via the Supreme Court, abortion would become illegal. But that said, the Supreme Court blocked it, and the Democratic governor, Gretchen Whitmer, and Democratic attorney general said that they will not enforce it. That said, same as Wisconsin, they are both up for re-election this year. So really, Michigan is going to come down to how the Republican Party can do if they can win the governor race and some state legislature seats in the attorney general race. So Wisconsin and Michigan, it really just depends what happens this fall in terms of the election. The state of Pennsylvania has a Republican-controlled state legislature that wants to pass anti-abortion laws. However, the Democratic governor, Tom Wolf, has vetoed that legislation. However, he is up for re-election this year, and Doug Mastriano, the Republican nominee for governor in Pennsylvania, has said that he will outlaw abortion. So really, if the Republicans win the Pennsylvania governor race, then abortion will be illegal in the state of Pennsylvania because Doug Mastriano will pass that bill with the Republican state legislature. So Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin will all outlaw abortion if Republicans can win the governor races this year. The state of Virginia is actually interesting to look at because obviously Glenn Youngkin was elected recently, and he ran as a very social conservative. He was anti-weed, anti-LGBT stuff, anti-abortion, and so he ran as very social conservative. But upon getting elected, he's been pretty moderate in some issues. So a lot of people were interested to see where he would stand on this, and he has not let us down. he has within an hour of Roe v. Wade being overturned, Glenn Youngkin has tweeted that he has asked the Virginia State Legislature, the Senate, and the House to begin working on a bill to outlaw abortion in the state of Virginia. That said, the Democrats do have control of the Virginia State Senate. So nothing would really happen until 2023 when the state senate is up for re-election. If Republicans win the state senate in 2023, then abortion will pretty much become legal right after that. But until then, abortion it will remain legal in Virginia. It just really depends on how the 2023 statewide election goes. But Glenn Youngkin has said, and he has done stuff with the state legislature to say we will outlaw abortion if we can take back the state senate. So interesting to note there. The state of North Carolina has a Republican-controlled state legislature that has tried to pass anti-abortion laws, but the Democratic governor has vetoed all the past legislation. So same story with Pennsylvania. North Carolina really depends on if the Republicans can win back the governor race. However, the North Carolina governor is not up again until 2024, and hopefully we'll be able to flip that race. We have a very good candidate, the current Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. In North Carolina, he has said that he is going to run for governor, and he is a great candidate, and he is definitely going to sign any abortion legislation. So if he wins in 2024, if Mark Robinson, the current lieutenant governor, manages to win the governor race in 2024, then abortion will be illegal in North Carolina. It's just until then, it's going to remain legal because the Democratic governor will veto anything the Republicans try to pass. The state of Florida does not have a trigger ban, but they do have a 15-week ban. But Ron DeSantis and the state legislature have both said that if Roe v. Wade was overturned, they would have an immediate special session of the legislature to outlaw abortion. So now that that's happened, we'll have to wait and see. But really, if Ron DeSantis and the Florida state legislature follow their word, which I personally believe they will, then I would say that abortion will be banned in Florida very soon. So that pretty much leaves every state in red and orange will outlaw abortion within a month or so. States in white really depend on how the Republicans can do in upcoming elections. That's really going to be the big thing. Pretty much all these states, it's going to be elections are going to decide what happens. As of now, I think all of them are going to remain legal, but depending on how the 2022 elections go, and then 2023 in Virginia and 2024 in North Carolina, we could easily see all these states in white actually outlaw abortion in the next few years. So really, that's all I got to say there. All the states in purple have protections. However, there's some states like New Mexico that have no explicit abortion protections, and so there's really no law hindering or promoting abortion in New Mexico. And Mark Ronchetti, the Republican nominee for governor in the state, he is pro-life, so if he gets into office, he may try to pass some abortion legislation. That said, Democrats will probably maintain their majorities in the state legislature, so probably nothing much will happen there. But we could possibly get some gains in New Mexico, maybe a few small anti-abortion bills. Same thing with Nevada. Nevada does not have any abortion protections in place, but it is a relatively pro-choice state. You think of the Las Vegas area, with weed, gambling, prostitution. Nevada is a relatively socially liberal state in some areas, and so when they had a referendum to possibly outlaw abortion or make it harder to get an abortion, it failed miserably. So Republicans in Nevada have been very cautious about how they want to approach abortion. That said, I think that we should pick up a few seats in state legislature and win the governor race this fall. So I would say expect some restrictions in Nevada, but probably not a full ban. Instead of Maine, actually, Maine does have abortion protections in place, but Paul LePage, who was the former governor of Maine, and who's a very pro-life, he's a great guy, and I think he should win the election this year. It's going to be very close, but if Paul LePage manages to win the Maine gubernatorial election taking place this fall, then he has said he would pass some anti-abortion legislation. It would really depend what happens with the state legislature as well, but Maine also could possibly go into sort of a state that abortion remains legal in, but there are some restrictions. So all the states in orange, red, and white have a very high chance of outlawing abortion within 2 to 3 years. A lot of it depends on elections. And the states of New Mexico, Nevada, and Maine also may outlaw abortion. It just really depends on election results as well. So although we have overturned Roe v. Wade, and this is a massive victory for conservatism and for family values, for faith, religion, this is a huge victory for all that stuff. This fight is not over. This is a big victory, but this fight is not yet over. We got to win elections. We got to campaign on this. We got to push back. Vote pro-life down ballot. Write to your congressman. Write to your state legislatures. And this is really going to be a state-by-state fight now. It's really going to come down to every single state. We got to do our part, and hopefully we can outlaw abortion across the majority of American states. So thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like and subscribe for more.